I've been sitting at the computer for about a good 30 minutes trying to figure out like what did I want to do with this review? Did I want to like go in and do a whole lot of editing? And then I kind of like it just dawned on me like a light bulb just like went off in my head and said, "Yo, Rob, nobody cared to put effort into this movie. So why should I care to put effort into this review?" This movie was absolutely horrible. But we're going to get into everything I feel about the movie Kraven the Hunter. And we're just going to just sit back, grab some iced coffee, ladies and gentlemen, the pumpkin spice variety. And we're going to talk about Kraven the Hunter. Now, this movie is starring Aaron Taylor Johnson. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is yet again another one of those Sony spin-off villain type movies that doesn't. The thing is, I'm going to beat a dead horse right now because I feel like I've been preaching this and a lot of people has been preaching this for years. Like, why does Sony constantly want to put out these villain movies without even putting Spider-Man into the movie at all, or even talking about Spider-Man? Like, it's so weird and it's very ass backwards. And I just don't understand it. And I know I'm beating a dead horse because this is something that not only have I talked about several times, but many people on the internet, whether it be social media, YouTube, whatever, talk about this same problem. And I don't know if this is the situation where Sony is just putting together crappy movies in order just to put out projects so they can keep the rights. I don't know if it's one of those situations. We've seen that before from other studios like Fantastic Four, like back in like I think the early 90s, there was a Fantastic Four movie that was made that was never released just so they can keep the rights for the film. I don't know if this is one of those situations, but you can clearly see that no one really cares about this movie. And that's really sad because Aaron Taylor Johnson is a phenomenal actor. He has a horrible agent and picks some horrible movies sometimes, but he's a phenomenal actor. And I want to see Aaron Taylor Johnson get better stuff because he's absolutely awesome. Now, is this movie on the Madam Web level of awful or even the Morbius level of awful? No, it's not on that level. But that doesn't mean the movie's good by any means either. Like, the movie starts off with a good, I don't know, maybe like a 15-minute action scene. And then we go back to like Kraven as a kid for like 30 minutes. And we get to see him and his daddy and his brother. And they go hunting and blah, blah. And I just don't care. Right? I just don't care. And like, it's just some of the weirdest things pop up. Like Calypto. We see her as a kid and she saves Kraven, and Kraven, something happens to him, and then like they meet again later on. Like, that's very convenient to the plot. And then his brother is like turns into the chameleon by the end of the movie. And then we got this other character, the Foreigner, who I think is just, oh my God, I wanted to commit suicide every time I saw this guy on screen. It's like 1, 2, 3. And I'm like, stop it, you're putting me asleep, man. Like, this whole damn movie's putting me to sleep. Get away from, like, God, man, what is going on here? Jesus. Well, the movie's just not a good film. And I don't understand why Sony continues to try to push these films. Like, I don't, like, why, like, Madam Web was another level of insult. Like, I don't understand how you have that many very attractive and talented actresses all on one location filming one movie and still manage to put out the biggest piece of donkey crap I have ever seen. But they managed to do it. And Kraven, I don't understand. You have Russell Crowe and Aaron Taylor Johnson. Like, on paper, you're thinking, oh, that's going to be a good movie. That's going to work. But then you also see on paper, like, hey, we got Tom Hardy as Eddie Brock and Venom. Like, that's a dream casting. It didn't work. Like, Woody Harrelson as Carnage. On paper, that's amazing. Did not work. Cindy Sweeney dancing on a tabletop playing Spider-Woman. On paper. Like Isabella Moner. You have Dakota Johnson. Like, on paper, this should work, and it doesn't fucking work. None of it worked. None of this worked. Like, ladies and gentlemen, Jared Leto as Morbius. on paper, these ideas work. But you know what doesn't work on the paper? The fucking script. The fucking script does not work on paper. At that point, it's like, hey, let's fill this, fill these movies up with very talented people, and let's just slowly kill their careers. Because I feel like that's what Sony has done to these people. It's like, we're gonna get these most talented people we can get, and we're just gonna fucking fuck them and their careers. Because that's the way it feels. And the movie is absolutely horrendous, man. Some of the action scenes are pretty cool. I'm going to be honest with you. Some of the action scenes are pretty cool. But really, the action scenes are kind of far and in between. It isn't like you have action, and you can just blind your senses with alcohol and watch oh, that's cool. It's not like that. It's like action scene, 30 minutes of boredom, then another action scene, and then something that's stupid, more boredom, and then it's just like, what is going on here? What is going on here? And the one thing I will give the movie props for, if there's only one thing I'm going to give the movie props for, other than having Aaron Taylor Johnson and Russell Crowe, actually I'll give the movie 2 props. Calypso, she's fine as wine. Unfortunately, that's all I can say about her. Her character was pointless. Didn't need to be in the movie. I can say the same thing about Chameleon. I can say the same thing about The Foreigner. 1, 2, 3. Oh, shut your mouth. But the other movie, the other part I can give props to is the Rhino. Completely butchered the Rhino's character, but the Rhino design, if you take a still frame of it, doesn't look good. But if you actually watch it in motion, the Rhino actually looked pretty decent. So I will give them props for that. Rhino, compared to the Amazing Spider-Man 2, much better improvement. Unfortunately, the Rhino character, what the Rhino does, the Rhino fight scene, all that does not work, ladies and gentlemen. Does not work. So it's like a step forward, 2 steps back situation. You got the design looking good. It's sort of like the actor situation. You got all these great actors, great talent. And then you give them the worst script imaginable. And hey, we're going to do good. At some point, when is it no longer insulting to the viewer to release movies like this? At what point? The script doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It's very boring. You spend most of the time with Kraven as a kid, and we start to figure out why Kraven had a rough life, like most villains, they had a rough life, blah blah blah, And then he's the hunter, and he's protecting the jungle from poachers and hunters and all this stuff, which is also not really a Kraven thing. And his brother was very annoying, and it didn't help that I just saw the actor who played his brother the day before in Gladiator 2, and he was fucking annoying in Gladiator 2 as well. So I had a double dose, back-to-back dose of this actor, and at that point, I was just ready to drink my sorrows into oblivion, because I'm what are we doing here? What are we, his brother would do this creepy little voice changing thing, and I had the ending spoiled with the Chameleon, so I kind of knew what they were going for. But I'm just what is this leading to? What's the point of this? Why you have so many Spider characters, good guys, mind you, that you could have done. If you wanted to do a Venom hero movie, do Agent Venom. I mean, I don't think it was a smart way to do that, but do an Agent Venom. At least he's a good guy. The Lethal Protector stuff that they tried to do didn't really work in the context of the films. Again, great ideas, great actors, great premises, horrible scripts. But you have Miles Morales, you have Spider-Gwen, you have Spider-Woman, you have Ben Reilly, you have Spider-Man 2099, you have Scarlet Spider is Ben Reilly, you have Spider-Man Noir. You literally have a multiverse of different versions of Spider-Man. Yet you continue to want to do Spider-Man villain spin-offs because everybody and their mama's looking for that. Yeah, we want to go see that. My wife at one point, mind you, I like to repeat this in every review I do because she likes shitty movies, and she did like this movie. She has the worst taste in movies. It's like I don't know. I don't get it. I guess that's the demographic that they're going for. Just people that don't know shit about movies. But mind you, at one point my wife looked over at me and she said, "He's a villain?" And I was like, "Yes, babe. All these people are villains. Venom is a villain. Morbius is a villain. Kraven is a villain. For some reason, Sony trying to make hero movies out of these dumb motherfuckers. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it either. I don't get it either. But just a complete awful movie. It was a mess of a movie. The CGI didn't look awful. I did like the Rhino when it was in motion, but once you see like a close up still shot of him, not so good. I don't like the origin story of the Rhino in this movie. I don't like the origin story of Kraven. I don't like anything that this damn movie had. It's like you ever see those recipes where people like on social media, they have like all these leftovers and they just kind of like throw it into a stew, and it's called like a poor man stew or bum stew or something, where you just like throw random shit in there. I feel like that's what Sony did. We're just gonna throw all these random ingredients and we're just gonna get a bum ass movie, and it's called Kraven the Hunter. And Jesus, guys, let me tell you, it was a mess, man. It was absolutely horrific. I don't suggest anybody watch it. I really do not recommend anybody go watch it. So with that said, I'm gonna finish this up with giving Kraven the Hunter a 4 out of 10. Oh my god, ladies and gentlemen, it is trash. It is donkey crap. Definitely recommend you avoid it. But hopefully you found this review more entertaining than the movie. So I don't know, but I'm trying to get more reviews done in here, guys. I got a lot of movies I've seen, a lot of really good movies. Not all of them are Kraven caliber movies, but hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully you enjoyed the simplistic review that I did here, more simplistic, just camera talking, kind of getting some jokes on in there. Hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did enjoy this video, please do me a favor, show your support by just simply hitting that like button. It means a lot. Thank you guys so much for watching. Appreciate you. Until next time, as always, I'm Robert Storms, and that's my opinion.